We are still on fractions, and this section is on reducing fraction to its lowest term. One may ask, why should we reduce fraction to its lowest term? This is because there is a heading under fraction which is called operations on fractions. And for operations on fractions, we have addition of fractions, subtraction of fractions, multiplication of fractions, and division of fractions. Because there are certain answers you get under these operations in which you should reduce it to its lowest term. So let's move on to today's session, that's reducing fraction to its lowest term. I just wanted you to know why I am treating this topic. So to reduce fraction to its lowest term, you must get your common divisor. Common divisor. Common divisor. From the word division, this divisor, from the word division or divisible. So I will use an illustrative example to explain what common divisor means. Given 2/8, reduce it to its lowest term. Lowest term. You see now we have the numerator as 2 and denominator as 8. You ask yourself, what number goes into 2 and at the same time 8? It should be the same common divisor. So you see 2 is divisible by 2 and also 2 is also divisible by 8. So you choose 2 because we cannot use 4 goes into 8, 2. 2 goes into 2, 1. No, it should be the same common divisor. So 2 goes into 2, how many? 1. You will cancel. 2 goes into 8, how many? 4. So we now have our final answer as 1/4. And we can't reduce this one to its lowest term again. Example 2. Example 2. Reduce 4/20 to its lowest term. To its lowest term. Now we have 4/20. The numerator is 4 and the denominator is 20. One may ask, what is our common divisor? And the common divisor, you should get the same common divisor that goes into 4 and at the same time 20. So you see, we can start from 2 because 2 can go into 4 how many times? 2 times. 2 goes here, 2. And the same common divisor, 2. 2 goes into 20 how many times? 10. But we are having 2/10. Still, you should reduce it to its lowest term till it reaches the final state in which it can be reduced to its lowest term again. So 2 goes into 2, 1. 2 goes here, 5. So we are now having 1/5. The simplest method for this same question, that's 4/20. You see, we are having 4 as numerator and 20 as denominator. 4, 20. The common divisor, you can choose 4 straight once you know your multiples. Because 4 goes here how many? 1. 4 goes here what? 5. You see, we are arriving at the same answer, which is 1/5. This stage, I just wanted you to understand it very well. But this is the simplest format. Let's move on to the next example. The next example. Reduce 10 over 20 to its simplest form. Even though I said lowest, another name for lowest is what? Simplest. So in an exam, if you go and meet simplest, it's the same as what? Lowest. So reduce 10 over 20 to its lowest 10. So 10 over 20. What is the common divisor? It's 2. You can start from 2, one can start from 5, one can start from 10. But it depends on how you do it. All will arrive at the same answer. So 2 goes here how many? 5. 2 goes into 20, 10. Still, you should divide it because it is not reduced to its lowest 10. So 5 goes into 5, 1. The same 5 should go into 10, how many? 2. We are getting 1 over 2. This same question, 10 over 20. You see, we now have our answer as 1 over 2. I'm coming to teach you the simplest approach. 10 over 20. Once the zeros is at the far end, you just cancel this 0. We are getting what? 1 over 2. You see, we are now arriving at the same answer. 10 over 40. You just cancel this 0. We are getting what? 1 over 4. They will mark you right because you are following the same methodology. Another example. Reduce 100 over 300 to its lowest 10. One may ask, this question is too difficult, but it's not difficult. It's the simplest question. You see, we are having 100 over 300. The same approach as I taught you that these zeros at the far end, you cancel them. This will cancel what? This. This cancels what? This. We are getting what? 1 over 3. If you don't know, you do it. 2 goes here, this. 2 goes here, this. You must reduce it till you get this 1 over 3. But once you know a simplest method, you just do this and they will mark your answer for you. The final example under reducing fractions to its lowest 10. Reduce 101 over 200 to its lowest 10. You see, this time we are having 200, that's the zeros at the far end, and this 0 is in between the 1. This time we cannot cancel. We cannot cancel this 0 by this 0 because that doesn't apply in mathematics. But once the question was to be 110 over 200, you just cancel the 0 at the far end and we are getting 11 over 20. But because this 0 is in between this one, there is no need to cancel. there is no need to cancel. So it's 101 over 200. That's the final answer. Because no number is divisible by this or this. Even though we know that 2 goes into 200, 100, 2 can't go into this. So it's 101 over 200. So let me give you some prior questions on this session. That's reducing fraction to its lowest term. Reduce the following fraction to its lowest term. 1, 11 over 22. 2, 30 over 40. 3, 201 over 300. Thank you, and this brings us to this session, that's reducing fraction to its lowest term.